I'm Juan Davis, Chief Creative Officer at KCT and PBS SoCal, and I'm joined by the newsroom of KPCC and LAist on a daily reporter roundup. How is everyone?
Good.
And thanks again for joining us, investigative editor Mike Kessler.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Aaron, let's start with you. You've been analyzing a huge data set from the California Attorney General's office that sheds some light on policing in the state. What have you been discovering?
Right, so this is data on police uses of force in Los Angeles County. It covers 2016 through 2019. And when I looked at it, I saw striking racial disparities. So 27% of the 688 people shot or seriously injured in LA County were Black. In the county's population, just 8% of it is Black. I spoke to activists who said, Black communities have been policed very aggressively for decades. This is sort of a natural result of that. Also spoke to the president of the California Police Chiefs Association who said, force never looks good. Pretty much everyone I spoke to said this is an issue that goes deeper than just law enforcement, that we see similar inequities in housing, education, healthcare. To back up and talk about the data a little bit more, it shows uses of force, so that could be a shooting, but also pepper spray, rubber bullets, or a physical altercation. And it comes, like you say, from the State Department of Justice and shows an average of about 700 uses of force across California every single year.
The data that you found, it was 27% for Black residents. What about the other ethnic composition of the state?
Yeah, so Latino residents of LA County, that's about half the county's population. They were slightly overrepresented. I believe it's 54% of the uses of force. And then white and Asian people were very underrepresented in the use of force data.
Ellie, you've been talking to doctors and hospital workers about hospital preparedness during the current COVID surge. Tell us a little bit about that.
That's right. Hospitals are now preparing again for a surge in these cases. ER doctors I've been speaking with say it's been getting worse. Today, officials in LA County announced there are nearly 2,000 people currently hospitalized with COVID-19. That's a jump from just a few weeks ago, and that number has been rising. One concern here is that the county could run out of ICU beds in the near future. The county sent out a letter over the weekend to hospitals urging them to put their surge plans in place. That means making sure there's enough additional beds freed up for COVID-19 patients. It could also mean converting wards or units and doing things like canceling some elective surgeries to increase capacity.
Emily has been looking into who's getting PPP loans in Los Angeles during the pandemic.
Right, so these are the loans that were part of Congress's coronavirus stimulus package for small businesses back in March. And for months, we had literally no idea where the money was going, $521 billion. But finally on Monday, after a lot of political pressure, the Small Business Administration finally released the data. So in LA County, what we found is that the wealthy white West Side received the greatest number of large loans. So the congressional district that runs from Malibu to Palos Verdes got nearly 8 times as many large PPP loans as the district that includes communities like Compton, Carson, and San Pedro. And the industry sector that received the most loans is full service restaurants, followed by lawyers' offices and doctors' offices. And retail stores were actually way down on the list, which is interesting because retail is one of the sectors that's been hardest hit in the local economy.
Environmentalists claimed a big win in a long-running lawsuit against LA County today. Sharon has that story.
Yeah, it's all about this dam called the Devil's Gate Dam. It protects communities along the Arroyo Seco Channel, kind of along the 110 freeway from Pasadena to Los Angeles. But after a big fire in 2009 and a lot of rain, the dam filled up with sediment, and LA County wanted to dig it all out to keep the dam protecting those downstream homes. The problem is the sediment had become kind of a forest with lots of birds and plants and wildlife, and local environmentalists didn't want to dig it all out. So they sued the county, and today they celebrated a settlement. They won a compromise that allows the county to clear out a lot of the sediment, but which keeps more of the wildlife and habitat and water available for the birds and animals that populate that area.
Thank you, Sharon, and thank you all at the KPCC and LAist newsroom. Thank you for tuning in. Take care of your neighbor, your health, your family, and we will see you tomorrow.